My name is Alex Dominguez. Not only the Unicoin Chief Investment Officer, but I'm also the Chief Investor Relations Officer for Safe Bets. And I know yesterday our Executive Director did a really nice job of introducing Safe Bets, going over the market, what the market looks like, how different Safe Bets is to some of the platforms that are presently working, including Polymarket, Kalshi, and some of the other smaller platforms that are coming on board. Today I'm going to gloss over a little bit of what she said, but I'm going to more so talk about the investment opportunity that's available. And before I do that, I just want to give you guys a little background. I've been able to travel the world, and I've gone to hundreds of conferences with regards to crypto. I've been to Dubai, Colombia, France, you name it, all over the world. And one thing's very common. Most people who attend these conferences are interested in many things, but the main thing is, how do we make money? How can you identify a proposition that makes sense, that stands out versus the competition? And very few times have I run into companies at different conferences where I get back on the plane on the way home and I say, wow, these guys cracked the code. They figured it out. This looks like a hell of an opportunity, a company that can disrupt the industry that they're in. And Safe Bets, I believe, is one of those propositions, one of those businesses that not only will disrupt the predictive platforms and the industry, I think it's going to upend it and put it on its head. I mean, Safe Bets is entering a market at the perfect time. If you look at the market, and I think Gina did a pretty good job yesterday of, give me a second, this is not working. You look at the market where it is right now, and if you look at the number of jurisdictions where Polymarket and Kalshi are banned in or they can't operate in, those are markets where Safe Bets, because of the proposition of introducing risk-free betting, which is not considered gambling, we can just waltz right into many of these countries. And these countries, I usually don't use notes, but the list of countries is so vast, and I'll name some of these countries: France, Belgium, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Portugal, Hungary, Bulgaria, parts of the United States, recently banned last month in Argentina, Nicaragua, in Europe, a bunch of countries, Asia, the Middle East, Singapore, Thailand, Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Myanmar, North Korea, Syria, Africa, where we have the #1 adoption for cryptocurrencies in the world, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Ethiopia, Central Africa, the Republic of Congo, and the list goes on and on. If you look at where they've been banned in the United States, 19 states and counting. With 5 or 6 more states, you're looking at half the country in the United States going after Polymarket and Kalshi and trying to ban them. You got criminal charges in Arizona. You have the Indian tribes who are getting into the act now, and they're suing Polymarket and Kalshi for infringing on their money and their gambling. So there's no amount of lobbying that the industry could ever do that's going to change the fact that gambling is gambling is gambling. Since our project doesn't involve cash, and you can't lose your shirt because you're not betting your own hard cash, it's free, it's risk-free. If you're correct, you make money. If you're not correct, you go home. You don't have to have a difficult conversation with your loved one. You don't have to sleep on the couch or explain to your partner that you borrowed money from to place trades on Polymarket and you're splitting it 50-50 of why you lost money. Given a choice worldwide, use common sense. If you have a chance to place a bet on something and it's free and you can make millions of dollars, why on earth would you spend money and risk your hard-earned money on a platform where you may lose your shirt? Now, for some of you who are more talented or have a predictive ability and you're making a ton of money on Polymarket and Kalshi, that's great, keep doing it. But we feel like the majority of the people on earth are going to move towards risk-free betting. And I'll give you guys an analogy. For those of you who show of hands, how many of you know Robinhood? Right? Robinhood started in 2013. No one knew who Robinhood was. They announced something that was a game changer. They were going to stop charging per trade. And everybody said, well, how are you guys going to make money if you're not charging per trade? Ameritrade, Schwab, everybody charges per trade. They upended and they changed the financial brokerage industry forever. Everybody followed them. And what happened the year that they launched? They scaled up to the number of users at the rate that was the most, it was the highest rate of a scale up in the financial brokerage history. You guys can look it up on Google, look it up on ChatGPT, with one simple change to a business model that disrupted the industry. It took Ameritrade, Schwab, and some of the other brokerages years just to catch up. And now finally, nobody charges per trade. We expect to do the same thing, may not be the same business model, but we're not charging, you don't have to use your money, you don't risk your money. Risk-free betting sounds too good to be true, but in this particular case, it's reality. So we're gonna be able to go to France. It's like playing a soccer game. We're gonna come out to the field and there's not gonna be an opponent. We should be able to win by default. We're not spending money on lawyers, on litigation, and we're not fighting an uphill battle that's gonna take a very long time to resolve. A lot of people think it's gonna probably go to the Supreme Court. If you follow the legislature and the way litigation works in the US, that could take a very long time. There's a cost to that, lawyer fees, the stigma that comes with gambling, etc. So people ask us, what's our goal? We want to get to 200 million potential users which are untapped. If you look at the amount of users between Kalshi and Polymarket as of today, there's roughly a little over 10 million users. Give or take, depending on who you ask. So how are we going to get to 200 million users? Easy. We're going to go into markets where we have no competition, where we can win by default. And then there's another part of the market that no one talks about. Many of you guys play Jeopardy or you watch Jeopardy on TV, you always have that annoying friend that knows all the answers before you do. There's a bunch of smart people all over the planet that don't gamble. You ask them, why don't you guys get on the prediction markets? You guys are so smart, you know all this information. And the average person might say, well, I'm not a big gambler, it's not for me. Now we're offering a whole new market of people that aren't gamblers, but are very smart to participate in our platform, and they're able to make a ton of money if they're correct. So the more users we create, the more collective intelligence and data we'll collect. We're not limited to the United States. We're not limited to being in jurisdictions that have allowed us to. We can pretty much operate in every single jurisdiction on earth that we choose to. So the proposition that's available today, and I'll go over with you guys pretty easily. I don't want to rehash what you already know that we went over yesterday. Those are just the ones that are banned right now. In about 12 months, that number may double because we're growing, the market's growing so fast. And we're not here to trash Polymarket or Kalshi. We're just here to offer a better business model. Think of it as 2.0. They've done the heavy lifting. They've expanded the market. It's probably going to go to $1 trillion at the end of the day in a few years. But when we get into the market, we're going to take it to the next level. So if you think that two platforms have been able to grow it to a valuation of $42 billion combined, what do you think our value would be if we expand quicker, faster, and in more countries than Kalshi and Polymarket? It's just common sense. Same thing that happened to Robinhood. Right now, we're offering the first round, public round, 25 cents, 20 million shares at a valuation of $250 million. Now, when you compare $250 million to where Kalshi and Polymarket combined are $42 billion, and they're banned in all these jurisdictions, and we just launched yesterday, which, by the way, congratulations. You made history without even knowing it, because our press release went out yesterday, at a very small conference in the middle of Las Vegas, we're going to make history. If you get online, you'll see the press release that went out yesterday all over the world, and this is where we decided to launch it. So after day one, our CEO asked our IT department, just out of curiosity, how many user registrations have we had since we launched it yesterday in Vegas? And when you look at the countries, it's still early, the countries I mentioned are on that list. France, Germany, parts of the United States, Canada where it's been banned, Germany, I forgot the other ones. But it's no surprise because these are countries where there is no ban on safe bets, but they're banning Polymarket and the competition. And that's an early bit of data, and I think it's encouraging to know that we're gonna have users from all over the world to scale up very quickly. So, and I'm having a little difficulty with there's a table, I'm not gonna rehash the differences. I think our executive director did a very good job yesterday of describing what the differences are. You know, the elephant in the room, zero-sum betting for Kalshi and Polymarket, whereas we're a positive-sum betting. You know, we have zero risk, 85 plus open markets to begin with. Our legal exposure is zero right now. Could there be an overzealous regulator in the future who may consider us gambling? We can't control that, but we'll certainly have that debate if that ever comes to it. Because we don't gamble, it's not a gamble. Keep your money in your pocket. You'll never expose yourself to losses. If there's somebody in your family with gambling addiction or somebody you know, this is a perfect platform for them to use as well. They still get the same or even a better benefit because they get paid out in crypto or cash than they would just getting fiat alone. Now how does it work? Now how do we scale? Sign up for free. You go to safebets.world. Easy to sign up, start making your predictions. You're gonna get 100 free Unicoins to start. You can earn prizes, accurate predictions earns rewards, and top predictors win big. And as all of you already heard, institutions pay for signals from proven forecasters. If we can eventually, and I know it's an audacious goal, have over 1 billion users, even if we got 1 in 1,000 users as a reliable expert, we would have 1 million proven marketplace predictors. That is enough to dominate international trading in every major class. We're doing commodities, we're doing stocks, we're doing other things in finance. We're gonna add sports in May. So when I say that we're disrupting the industry, it's actually an understatement. I think not only are we gonna disrupt the industry, we're gonna put it upside down on their heads. Because I think when anybody, as I mentioned earlier, has a choice and something's free and something's not free, they're gonna go with the free and the risk-free. So why in the world would somebody, given that choice, pick one platform over another if there's no risk on one versus the other? It's just common sense. And that's one of the reasons why I said at the beginning, you go to all these conferences and you rarely see an opportunity like this one that actually disrupts the industry. Everybody throws that word around pretty freely, but this model is definitely going to change the industry, and I think for the better. So it's not that we're asking for a big ask, we're giving you the opportunity to get in very early. Now, success is never guaranteed. Anything can happen, it's an investment. We may not reach our goals, but we're pretty confident that we will get there. And at a $250 million valuation, you're gonna get in pretty early. If you look at Unicoin, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Unicoin is a cryptocurrency that was built to be the #1 cryptocurrency in the world to compete with Bitcoin. We've raised over $100 million in cash. We've signed over $3 billion of real estate swaps for the actual coin. Those remain to be closed. Those are actually going to be renegotiated because they were signed 2 years ago. They do have some contingencies. So we may wind up getting $3 billion in real estate. We may not be getting anything, but they're there, the contracts are signed, and we're definitely going to go after that to support the coin as well. Now, what's our target price for Unicoin? And the reason why I'm going over this, Unicoin is the network token that we're using on safe bets. Our target price is $120, which is a very, very, very audacious goal, but we think we're going to get there. How are we going to get the liquidity? Easy. Safe Bets is going to buy and use some of their profits from their own trading to buy Unicoin in the open market if we think the price is low. So we're going to be able to maintain a certain price level, which is great. So it's sort of like a flywheel approach, that we're going to be using. I'll let you guys look at the slide. I know it's busy, but what I really want you guys to really absorb in this opportunity is the valuation at where we are right now. You're looking at 250 million versus 42 billion, and you're looking at 1 trillion, not said by me, but most of the analysts think the market volume's going to hit 1 trillion in a few years. How much are we worth if we have a superior business model? So for those of you that are looking for a good investment, you want to speculate a little bit, whether you're a venture fund, whether you're a hedge fund, whether you're a high net worth individual, and you want to place a nice bet, I think we're offering one hell of an opportunity moving forward. Here's our current valuation. We're going to have a few rounds. Our goal is to raise $2 billion. And just to give you an idea, that may happen sooner than we think. Polymarket was able to get an investment on one shot from the parent of the New York Stock Exchange for $2 billion. And that was, even with all the bans and all the restrictions that Polymarket has, they were still able to get that type of investment. So we're conservative, we're starting very low, where you can get in. If you wanted to get into Polymarket or Kalshi right now, that train left the station a long time ago when you look at those valuations. So if you're interested in investing in some of those shares, we're going to be at the table. If you go on safebets.world, there's a little bit more information as well. If you're in the United States, you need to be an accredited investor. If you're not in the United States, you don't have to worry about that. But there's a lot of information. You can read our PPM, the disclosures, the risk disclosures online. And like I said, if you have any questions, we're going to be at that table in the back. And it's a small round. It's only going to be about $20 million. It's capped out, and then we're going to go to round 2 as soon as we finish round 1, round 3, round 4, until we get $2 billion raised. Here's just a slide letting you guys know that there's industry momentum right now. It's the perfect market at the peak attention. We're going to, what I talked about, 85 markets to win by default from the get-go. Polymarket and Kalshi are spending enormous resources fighting legal battles across 30 jurisdictions. And that's not going to go away for probably a very long time. So it's a ground floor opportunity. You don't see this very often. A lot of times you find out about these type of opportunities when it's too late, or they're already so far ahead of their cycle and the valuations are so high, the risk increases. We feel like today, you guys are very fortunate to be here in Las Vegas, because many people won't even find out about the raise unless you hear about it in person or you hear it from somebody else. So like I said, we feel like it's a great ground floor opportunity versus the competition. I think our business model makes sense. And, review the PPM, meet the team, our CEOs here, our executive directors here. I'm here, we have people in marketing that can answer your questions. And I know that it may feel too good to be true. When you say risk-free betting, there's got to be a catch. It really doesn't, there is no catch. You never use a credit card, you don't put your money down, you don't risk your money. And if you're not correct, you turn off your phone and you go home. If you're correct, and you're correct a lot over time, you can be listed as an oracle, you can participate in future trading with us as a company, we can distribute profits, etc. So you can start today, you get a free 100 Unicoins on your account, just sign up, it's super easy. And hopefully you guys will come on board as shareholders. We welcome all of you in here. And congratulations for not only attending this intimate gathering, but also being able to tell your friends that, hey, there's a new kid in town, we can invest in it if we want to, and it doesn't matter if you're a small investor or a large one, the minimum is only $10,000 to buy some shares at 25 cents. So I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here. And I look forward to answering any questions anybody has. Just come over to the booth as soon as I get off the stage. Thank you.